Okay, what does that mean? Error has occurred. Try again later. That is weird. Let's see if that does anything. Okay, it's showing stuff, but this is not. So I can see there is some issues. As usual, things are not working with YouTube, but we'll make it work. All right. Ta da 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 ta ta. And here we go. Try again. Let's see. So today we had a little bit delayed and things are happening, things are not working, but let's get this started again. Hi, my name is Tony, the Soy Sauce Assassin, and today we gotta get this going. Let's get started.
Every single day, I'm gonna make something great. That's my way. Every single day, I'm gonna make.
Hi everybody. As you can see, there was some issue with YouTube again. It never ends. So it's ongoing battle with YouTube trying to fix their issues and all that stuff. So nothing I can do about that. We can only make the best out of it. So let me see the chat. We have Joseph. We have William. We have Matthew. We have Jay Cricket. And we have D. Gordo. We have Raphael. Good evening, everybody. It's Saturday. Saturday evening. And what we gotta talk about today. Today, we're gonna smoke this Perla De Mar Maduro. Alright, so another cigar out of the random cigar humidors, and a few things I'd like to talk about today. And that was just Martin Amaya. Let me respond to Martin Amaya because he can't find us. So why I opened this up? Why don't you guys tell me why you guys smoking today at this Saturday evening? It's supposed to be a good one, but it could be a frustrating one because I had to listen to my father-in-law for like 2 hours talking about the same thing. And I'll let you guys know what it is though. It's a box press. Smell really nice. Construction looking really straight. Really nice, but you know, a little bit of discoloring here and there. You can tell that the box press mark has been really strong. So we'll see how that turns out. I'm gonna give it a cut, and we'll get to the topic today. A little bit of tie draw. Let's see the cap. I think the cap will allow me to cut just a little bit more because it has a really deep cap. The cap is all the way out here. So this box press has quite a bit of room for me to cut. So yeah. So you can see I'm still injured. The wax took a huge chunk of meat out of my pinky finger, so I had to tape that down. And let's see. Today, crazy day. My father-in-law and mother-in-law came over, and then we had a little chat about his work issue. And it's just like, you know, sometimes, you know, when you talk with somebody that's frustrated about their work, they tend to go in loops. So he's going in a loop the whole time, talking about the same thing but in different structure of the sentence. So somewhat frustrating to hear the same thing over and over again. Well, as a son-in-law, you're supposed to do that. So, you know, it is my duty to do that. So I running a little late. I didn't get to really test everything that's going on with the YouTube. And, you know, hopefully right now it's going on a little bit better. Let me double check. It looks like the chat box is not working again. So let's refresh that again to see if that works. Let's see. Always show message. Clean source. Refresh. Alright, so that should work. If it decides to work. If that should work. But you know, no, not really a good hope with that. Oh nice, you got your egg roll already. I have not received that yet. Once I get it, I have to ship out. But while we're on that topic, I just gonna remind everyone that orders anything. You gotta remember, I am not a business, so you know whatever I order is, you know, just count for everybody that's doing it. So if you, and it's not directed to anybody, if you order something from me, please make sure that you follow through with what you order, because like, you know, when I order the right amount and somebody decides to back up and say, hey Tony, sorry, I think I'm gonna back off on that order that I placed, then you know I have to end up eating the cost and keeping that. So you know, if everybody does that, all of a sudden, you know, I end up having to keep all those things that we ordered. Just so you know that, you know, when you order stuff, you kind of have to follow through, or else I just can't do it. In the future, that's gonna make it harder for me to run any group buys or anything like that. Just, it's not helpful, basically, if you do that. And you know, a few times I'll let it slide, but if you do it so much, I just can't take orders from people anymore in the future. You know, basically won't work out because I end up having to eat the cost. So you know, just a heads up on that. If you order something, if you tell me that you're in for something and say, hey Tony, I want 2 of these, whatever, I kind of expect that you will follow through with it, not tell me last minute and say, hey Tony, I can't do this. So yeah, we're having this Perla De Mar. If you had Perla De Mar before, please let me know. I know nothing about this brand. Of course, the pen is actually pretty cool. I like the design. It fits nicely on this, you know, box press design. So I like this design particularly. So today, the topic is, how are you drinking your whiskey? I have 2 cups here with a mysterious whiskey, very light aged whiskey, and I want to tell you how to drink and what's the difference between the 2 cups of whiskeys. Alright, so this is the whiskey cup, and basically designed specifically for whiskey, and people who does whiskey tasting tend to use this kind of cup. It's almost like a wine flute, but it's much smaller. The taper is down much sharper than a wine, and you can see that it's designed that you don't fill the whole thing with whiskey. Okay, you want to fill to the widest peak, widest diameter of this cup, and that was it. That's how much you want to fill it up. All right, because you want to be able to move these things, move the alcohol in there. You don't want to shake it like this. That's a bad way to, you know, to do things. People tend to do this because they've seen people doing it on TV or shows and stuff like that. This is actually a way to measure how much oil level is in this drink. It's not a good way to get a taste out of it. So what you want to do is just kind of rotate it slowly so that it rolls on the side. Then you can see the oil coming down. It's harder to see on my camera, obviously, but you can see it slowly tapering down. Once it tapers down, you gotta know that all the scents from the alcohol, from the whiskey, has 3 different notes. Alright, the top, which is the lightest note that raises to the very top, the middle, and the bottom. So when you smell you gotta smell the alcohol first. You gotta smell the whiskey first before you taste it, alright? Make sure you're taking the notes through your nose so that your body is expecting that particular aroma to enter. Then you drink it. Alright? So you smell the top, moving on to the bottom, and the very bottom. Almost like you'll see people like almost their nose is just on it. That's the bottom though. All right, you can. There's 3 levels, and they all kind of smells a little bit different. Like that, you gotta be able to smell them. And once you smell them, then you taste it. And you'll see a lot of people who taste whiskey tend to like to swish it because it allows the oil to fall apart on your your tongues, and really get you to that taste. But the key is to smell it first. Once you smell it, then your tongue can taste more. Just like, you know, retro hair almost. So, what we're gonna do is do that again. Give it a little that so that the alcohol evaporate builds up, because they tend to evaporate faster. Alcohol evaporates really fast. So when you put it on against the wall of this cup, it's gonna help it evaporate and give that aroma and get trapped into this little tiny opening. Then you smell it. And then you taste it. Let it sit. Let it kind of open up that taste and go down to your throat. Don't just swallow it. You're not gonna taste anything because you mainly gotta taste the bitterness and the bad part of it if you just gotta tend to swallow it down. Let it go down slowly. Let the aroma from your nose and your mouth kind of meet. Once it meets, then you swallow. That allows, yes, if you open your mouth a little bit, it allows the air to travel through. You want the nose to meet the mouth. So when you open your mouth a little bit, it tends to allow more air to travel through, because when you swallow, you breathing, you allow the air to travel through your nose and your mouth. Now, what about these kind of cups? Just straight. This kind of cup can also do the same thing, but you gotta do it quicker. Alright, you allow the alcohol to go around the rims so that it evaporates. Evaporate this smell. Alright, and then again, I tend to switch because that allows it to go everywhere. So that aroma stays and finally meets with your nose. That's how you enjoy a good whiskey. You know, take your time on it. Make sure to smell before you drink it. It looks weird, but that's gonna enhance your enjoyment of this particular whiskey. And again, there's this myth, well, not myth, about when you drink a whiskey, you want a drip or 2 of water in there. And I gotta tell you, you do. You always should. But the problem is, when you have really bad whiskey, there's no oil in that whiskey. Like for example, any whiskey that's colored, caramel colored, you tend to have problem adding water to it. You're actually diluting it rather than separating the oil out of it. When you drink a good whiskey, when you drop a water in there, you'll see the oil separate. I don't have a camera right in front of it, or else I'll show you dropping a drip of water. You'll see the oil start to fall apart and just opens up. And once it opens up, it's much easier to find the oil, let the oil settle on your mouth and stuff like that. So a drip or 2 of water is really good. And people who drink with ice cubes, the same thing. Ice cube melts the water and the water separates the oil. So that's when you have to pay attention to the alcohol that you're drinking. You gotta kind of know your alcohol. There are some stuff that's just not good with the water, because once you water it, there's no oil in there. The color is actually caramel coloring. It just doesn't have that oil in there. It doesn't age enough. It doesn't have the oil from the wood. You're not gonna be able to make it better. So I always drink the better stuff. So this is the short DIY on how to enjoy a whiskey. Anyways, again, that is how I do it, and that's how I taught as the right way to do it. There's no wrong way to do it, just that happened to be only one way to do it. The oil came from aging in a barrel. So when you're aging in a barrel, the natural tree oil kind of gets into the whiskey itself. So through aging, the oil kind of merge into it, the coloring should go through it and all that stuff. That's why when you get like really cheap alcohol, really cheap whiskey, they couldn't get that color in there. They will just take a moonshine and add flavoring and coloring in there, and that's not the right way to do it. That's not, obviously it's bad for you, not particularly authentic product for you to enjoy. That's why you tend to find some alcohol that tastes horrible with water. But if they've been aged, most whiskey had to be aged at least 4 to 8 years. So that should have that oil in there. If it doesn't, then you can tell there's problem with that alcohol, a problem with that whiskey. Because you should always have it. Whenever they put it in the barrel, it should always have coloring. They had to add coloring, then there's a problem. I had to rescue this because I talked so much I didn't breathe into it. I seriously do not condone the way people add color to the whiskey. Because when you add color to the whiskey, that means the barrel is not doing the job. You're blending some really light color stuff with some really dark color stuff, getting the bad coloring, then you add coloring. It's not the way to do it. Depends on the type of barrel for coloring. Actually, every barrel has some coloring. Okay, you can have very light coloring, there's still coloring. If you have to add color, that kind of defeats the point. I mean, if your barrel does not have any coloring, that means the barrel is too young. It doesn't have, they didn't char it enough. Usually they had to char the inside first. Once they char the inside, the color is there. So. And yes, some will be more than another, but there'll always be some color. Alright, the color literally came from the wood. So that's like saying that when you wipe down your cedar wood, your paper or towel is not gonna get the wood color. You're always gonna get that wood color because wood has oil. It has that color. So you gotta get some color. If the color is not pretty enough, they add color. That means there's not a lot of oil in the tree. Yeah, they always have some color though. A different range of color, but they'll always have some color if they're aged in a barrel. You're not gonna be able to avoid that because the tree naturally has color. And adding color is just not the right way to do it. Asian whiskeys are usually very light color, unless they're aged like 10, 20 years. They are very light colored because that's the way the barrel is. But they don't add coloring because that kind of take away from the purity of the drink that you're drinking. So when you add color to make it look pretty, you're taking away from the authentic product. You pay for the thing, but they added coloring to make you think that is more than what it is. Basically, that's what it is. I like it when it's just flat like that. So I like to buy Japanese product for that reason. Japanese whiskey, they just give it to you as is. If it's gonna look light, it's gonna look light, and that's because the whiskey is young. So this cigar, a little bit woodsy, bitter, and obviously a little bit pepper in the beginning. It's a very I wouldn't say light Maduro. It's just not there yet. It seems like it hasn't wake up. The flavor hasn't wake up yet. So That's great. Well, yeah, have you tried the few that I have mentioned? Tokis and Yoichis, Yamazakis. Those are really good. And you know, if you, especially if you get something like Hakubai, Hakubai is very light color, but it is what it is. They don't color it. It's just the way it is. They give you to the purest expression that they can give you. Absolutely, Japanese whiskey has like really take over the industry basically as to be rare and good whiskey. But the problem is that they're so pricey. They're just so pricey because they put a lot of effort in there and they only produce so much, and supply and demands, right? And obviously, you know, Scotch and single malts, they are very expensive to start with. Doesn't matter what country it is. So you tend to gotta get, you know, Japanese whiskeys gotta tend to be a lot pricier. You like Scotch, you don't like bourbon, then you definitely like Japanese whiskey because most of them are single malt. What Japanese whiskey should you try? You should try Yoichi. You should try Miyakikyo. You should try. Basically, Nikka and Centauri makes the best whiskey. So if you go in any store, ask for Nikka whiskey or Centauri whiskey, you'll find them. So, a lot of coin has gotten to you guys' hands. Do you guys like it? You know, I love it. I look at it every day. And I love how, like, you know, some of the members says, you know, if you can make a choice, flip the coin, right? The coin is nicely made in my opinion. So I just want to know you guys' opinion on that. And now that you received it, well, some of you has received it. Did you guys like the coin? Is it up to your expectations? Let me know so that, you know, if we ever make a different coin, I can use that as a base of quality and design to make sure that whatever we make is good. Because I personally love it, and you know, I don't mind to have a lot of those. That's why I bring up the thing, because there are few of you that basically canceled what you guys ordered, so I had to end up keeping them. It's okay that, you know, it's your money. Obviously, how you spend it is fine, but I kind of expect that when you guys say save you guys a spot, order enough for you guys, I do, and I kind of expect you guys to go through with it, because if you don't, I end up having to keeping it. So. But another thing is that majority of journeys went out today. Majority, I think, except one, or except two, all went out today. Early this morning, I was there for like a whole hour. The lady got so annoying with me, she told me to go use the automated services myself using the kiosk. So I end up having to do like 15 envelopes in kiosks. But yeah, those people who haven't received the coin yet will receive the coin. There's like, you know, 10 to 15 coin that went out. Nice. Yeah, so I will be like I said before, like, stop doing the OG stuff. I wanted to be, you know, give everybody still a chance to order the OG ones. And afterward, I think that, you know, people that are joining afterward shouldn't be wearing the OG stuff, right? If you haven't joined by that point in time, you're not OG anymore. You're just a regular member. So at that point, I'm gonna mark the price up to $9.99. No one's gonna buy at $999.99, right? So I gotta mark that price to that, and basically everybody who's the OG decide to order a new one, I will just create a code for you to do that, so that you can order at a regular price rather than $999.99, and only limited to the OGs. Oh yeah, that's the reason I burned myself. The wax is so hot, so when I had to hold the box like this and stamp it up, the wax dropped down to my finger. When it dropped down, it was only 1 second, like literally dropped, and I peeled it up, my whole skin came out with it. It was so painful. Yeah, that will be the last time I do that kind of stuff. Hopefully, that was the end of it. I won't be doing that kind of stuff anymore. Yeah, but you gotta know that wax is tight. All right, once you destroy it, you literally have to get a knife to cut it open. Okay, I tested on mine that you have to, once you put the wax on there, you have to basically put a knife into the seam and just cut through it. There's no way to remove it by finger. So just so you know, once you destroyed it, it's gone. That's it. Open that cap, that wax is hot, cut in half. But those people who order refills can just smoke the refills. Those people who order more than one get to smoke the more than one. But if you only order that one, once you cut or open it, that's it. that's it for that wax. I actually had to buy a special wax on it too, because the regular gold one that we use look kind of bland. So I went to buy platinum color and put the platinum one on there. It came out okay. Just so you guys know that because they're wax, I cannot make sure that they are complete circle every time. So some of them is gonna be more, some of them is gonna be less, but they are waxed by hand, one by one. This is made in USA, completely handmade, one by one. But yeah, they're not gonna look even. Some of them is gonna have missing the chunk and left. I think that's kind of like the characteristic of it. And it makes some of them look really special. Some of them look less special because they're full. But I think they're great. Every one of them looks great. Whether they're missing a chunk or having too much wax, they look different. Each one of them are different. Every single one of them are different. It kind of represents our journey to do this. Every one of us is different, but in the end we're the same, right? But yeah, that's a lot of work. Packing them, oh my god. Like that took me all day. That took me all day. So I hope you guys like it. But when you cut it open, remember the hard work that went through with it. Like you literally had to cut it. There's no way to open it up. The raffle hasn't started yet. So I still had to have my wife pick the cigars. We didn't have a lot of people in there this time. Probably had less than half the ticket last time. So we'll have like a wide range of tickets. So I still had to think about what to do and see if I leave it long enough that people will buy more ticket maybe. That kind of to feel the difference, because my wife definitely throw more than $60 in there when she does it. So see if people want more ticket. So I give another week. If nobody does anything for the rest of that week, then I will just go ahead and run the raffle. So the raffle, I'm gonna allow 2 weeks to do it. Which gives me time to kind of settle down with all the things I had to mail out and receive. So I'm still waiting for all that stuff. Once it gets to me, I'll let you guys know. I think the only thing that we're missing right now is the egg roll, and once that's done, all the goodbye is done. All the goodbye is done. I don't know if you guys realize it. It's a lot of work to run those goodbyes. Because I had to prep it, I had to send it out, I had to take it over there. It's a lot of work. And I know that it's gotten a little bit too crazy. So after the egg roll, I think we'll slow down more. Hopefully nothing else is going on after that. So yeah, that's what we have going on. And also I know that Dennis is making those big metal plate, aluminum plated hanging sign. It does not have a hanger in the back. You do have to choose your you know, method of destruction, basically. Either you do a hook on the back, or you can Velcro tape it, however you want it. But he's gonna send me a demo of it, so I can show you guys exactly how big it is, and you know, I can give you guys a closer look on those. And once that comes, we can either do a group buy directly, send it from him, or something else. I don't know. But it looks pretty big. It looks like it's bigger than my face. It's like this big, from the look of it. Because it's bigger than his hand. So, you know, imagine. It's pretty big. So yeah, we have quite a few things done from the month of March, right? The journey came to an end. Coins was done, and it's sent out. We did the fundraising for Cigar for Warriors. It was a pretty filled up March. Like, it was pretty filled up March. Like, very max filled up March. So I think that's pretty amazing how fast we do stuff. Obviously, I know it's paying everybody's pocket. It's paying my pocket. No, I had to front those stuff to get all that done. It's a lot of work. You know, every time, as soon as I get the money back, I want to do another thing. It just continues. So the patch went through like the 60th iterations. Every time it comes back, there's some issue I didn't like. I had to keep sending it back. So that's gonna take a while. That's probably gonna work into March. I mean, not March, May. It's gonna work into May. So that's gonna take a while. Saturday. What else is going on? For those people who doesn't know, Japanese era are coming to an end, to another new era. So the Emperor of Japan is retiring. He's the first emperor that actually get to retire, because in the past, the era does not change until one emperor dies. So this is the first emperor that says, you know, I'm too old, so I'm just gonna retire, and they actually allowed it. So after April, I think either April 30th, something like that, Japan's gonna change their era again. So now it's Heisei era. I don't know what the next one is gonna be. It's gonna be pretty cool. It's like a historical thing, you know. You live through another era of Japan. And Sumo wrestling actually ended too. Again, my favorite wrestler actually won again. What's that? 15-0 or something like that. He won all of the games. Injured his arm, but he won all the games. So it's pretty cool. That was his last championship of this era. So he won and defended his title last championship era. I actually thought that was pretty cool. He got 3 trophies with it. It's a gigantic trophies, 3 of them. But because he injured on the last throw, he actually couldn't carry that. He had to like have somebody carry it for him. It's not easy. It's not easy to win every single one of them. You're wrestling with somebody and you expect to win every single one of them, and this is like by days. Every day they have a thing. So, you know, he was lucky that he's literally most injured after the last tournament, last competition. So, lucky him. But in the end, he was in so much pain, he can't even lift a trophy. So, that shows the dedication. That shows the really good dedication that he's in it, you know. So if you didn't watch it, you can go on YouTube and search for it. Just type in 2019 Sumo. You'll find it. And it will say day 1, day all the way to like day 15. So there's some good fights, especially Tokunoshin and Hakuo. Tokunoshin actually got demoted because he didn't win enough, so he got deranked. Deranked for losing one too many games. But you know, it was a good one. It was a good one. This Maduro, the flavor is kind of dull. It doesn't give me the full Maduro taste. It's The flavor is there, but so dull. There's not a lot of thing going on. Just mild. So, to be a sumo wrestler, either you have to win your high school tournaments, and a lot of people who will go through the high school tournament, once they win the group tournament, they can get selected into pro. And if they turn into pro, usually they will just give up high school and they will just do pro. And there are people that's tall enough, that's already, you know, good enough in the school, in the sumo school, like, you know, sumo training camp and stuff like that, and win enough tournament, they become pros. So once you go into the pro, you spend all your life doing the pro wrestling until you retire. And after you retire, you keep your rank. If you're Yokozuna, you keep that. If once you retire, you're Yokozuna forever. Hey, Double Robusto. And you keep that title, and that title is very highly respected politically. You'd be surprised. Every single championship, the winner gets a trophy issued by the prime minister. So it's not just like by the association. There's one from the prime minister. They'll read a paperwork that's from the prime minister that issue you this trophy. So sumo is really big national thing for Japan. So your title gets you so much political power. You have no idea. Being Yokozuna, you become like the as your word weighs something politically. So, and they always look pretty cool. Big guy with the kimono coming out as sumo. They look great when they walk around. Nobody ever say, "Oh, that fat ass walked by." No, everybody's like, "Oh, look at that Yokozuna. He looks so big." They look fat, yes, but it's majority muscles. So. Okay, so the Journey box cigars, there's still a tube in there. So you just get basically the limited edition tube that you seen with the wax seal. It's in there, and then covered and then wax sealed again. The box is not completely closed. There's a little gap there somewhere. Some of them has it, some of them don't, because obviously they're not perfect. And I don't think you have to worry about the humidity because inside is tubed. And the tube doesn't have humidity going out or in. Rewatch afterwards so I can enjoy the smoke. Should I go with the usual Muwa or should I go to UC Shade this time? Well, I always enjoy UC Shade if you're gonna enjoy it for the rest of the night. Muwa, I think usually I enjoy more with the big meal. Yeah, they are expensive. The real deal are expensive. I mean, there's the difference between machine made and handmade. Handmades are hand sold and everything, hand pressed. A lot of work in there. They are not cheap. That's why they pass it down, right? If it's cheap, then there won't be any pass downs. You know, mother passed down to their daughter, you know, that kind of stuff. Because they're so expensive, so they get passed down. So yeah, it's a sumo is a very short period of time, kind of thing, but that short period of time is really exciting, and I like to watch it. You know, right now it's the season, and it just ended, so now I got nothing else to watch. I rewatched the same game over and over again just to watch the technique that they use. It ends in a split, no, less than a minute. Less than a minute. That's the end of it. That decides who wins and who loses. But that 1 minute, so many things going on in people's mind. You know, things can happen really quickly. You know, sometimes you have a complete upset. Someone that's really skinny, weighs like 200 pounds, lifts somebody that's like 600 pounds out of the ring. It's amazing. Are the rules of sumo fairly simple? Yes. Generally, what it means is you have to stay in the ring. You're allowed to slap people, push people, lift people by the belt. You cannot lift people by the skin. Like, you cannot bear hug them like this. and throw them out. That doesn't count. You can only grab the belt. You can unlock someone and throw them. Yes, you can. You can push their head, and basically you lose if any part of your body other than your foot touch the ground, or if you're outside the ring. That was it. It's that simple. So your goal is to either throw each other out of balance and touch the ground by accident or whatever, or lift them, push them, have them fall the ring. There are times where like one guy charges, the other guy just dodge, and the guy just ran out of the ring, just flew out of the ring. That considered win. So it's all about technique, speed, endurance. Because you know, again, try to fight your weight against somebody that's 500-600 pounds. It's not easy. Okay, you can't just go to any random guy that's fat and say, hey, can you bench press 600 pounds? That's not gonna happen. They'll die. So that's not easy. You know, have somebody charge at you, close range, 600 pounds away on you. That's a lot. You know, anybody that's going there, just like regular people like me, I will fly out of that thing so quickly. I won't even see what happened. It's like getting hit by a truck when somebody that size rush you. You know, a lot of times they'll hit by you. You're allowed to hit by each other. You can hit by them. So that hurts a lot. Right? 600 pounds, 500 pounds, even 300 pounds rush at you. You'd be like, what the? You know, literally just flew out. And they have to hold their body right there. They can't get pushed out. And a lot of them had to move a lot quickly, and they throw each other. That's hard, you know. And how many of you guys bench press 300 plus pounds? Imagine how hard that is, and then think about yourself pushing 600 pounds. And you're pushing it with things in your back, so you're not going down anymore, right? Just lift 600 pounds. That's not easy. Even if you just hold it for a few seconds just off the ground. Deadlift, that's not easy. 600 pounds. So imagine grabbing a 600 pound person with just the belt, their belt, their belt. You can only hold on to their belt. So hard. You can watch Zumo by just Google it. You can just go on YouTube and type in Zumo 2019. You'll be able to see the latest season. You can type in the keyword like Yokozuna. You'll see Hakuho. You'll see Toriyoshin. Those are the famous ones. So you'll be able to find them just by typing Zumo and a year, and you'll see all the games. You'll see highlights. You'll see the actual games. I know for sure that 2019 one you can find each day. So day 1, day 2, day 3, and they have an announcer that's speaking English, so you can definitely know what happened. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Have I always been a fan of Zumo? I'm on and off. On and off. There are some time where, like, you know, I missed the season, or I don't really care, kind of thing. There are some times that because the person that I like didn't win, so I stopped watching for the rest of the season, kind of thing. But if the person's winning and, you know, there's important things, I always watch it. I used to have Japanese channels in my house. I'll change it to Japanese channel and they'll have it, so I just watch it while I'm at it. So although I'm excited, I'm not a hardcore fan. I just like to watch it. So yeah, it is interesting to learn about another sport and just kind of watch it. You know, it's very easy to catch. It's very easy to catch the excitement of it because it's so quickly, and they'll do a replay of how they throw this person, or how the guy tricked the guy to come out and all that stuff. It's really nice. It's really nice, and you'll see there are some mental thing too. The person who's extremely small will tend to want to piss off the guy that's much bigger, so that the guy will make a mistake. The only thing that you're not gonna see because it's considered not polite is to celebrate a win. You know, if they win, they're not gonna go ah. They're not gonna do that. They just go back to their ring and go, yeah, that's it. Grab their money and go. They're not gonna celebrate a win because that's considered as an insult to the person that lost. You know, kind of thing. Yeah, wrestling is good. The only difference between wrestling is that the wrestling you're allowed to be on the ground. You're not lost until you're tapped out or you both of your shoulder touch the ground for a certain amount of time and all stuff like that. For Sumo, if you touch the ground, the end, you're lost. It's that strict. You touch the ground at all, you're lost. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. If you almost trip, your finger touched the ground for that 1 second, you lost. It's a good game to watch. I mean, it's short and quick. You get the, you know, feeling right away. Kind of what we used to do is Shotokan. Match, try, fell them, and get in their head. Yeah, because when people's angry, they tend to rush over and make a big mistake. So emotion plays a big thing in the fight. So. Yeah, still not much going on with this Maduro. It's very... Think of a really good Maduro. And think of that flavor just doesn't want to come out. You taste it in the beginning, it goes away. Nothing's going on. At this point, I don't recommend this particular cigar because even though it's Maduro, you can tell it's Maduro. The color is Maduro, the taste is Maduro, but nothing lingers. You can't pinpoint the espresso, dark espresso. You cannot pinpoint the cocoa. You cannot pinpoint the wood. It's just all together in there. It's just not much going on. The only thing you get is that very faint mixture of coffee and cocoa and the sourness a little bit to it. You know, the Maduro has a little tint of sour note into it, and that was it. And the rest is like, you can't even call that woodsy. There's not much going on. So, I'm trying to find a flavor. Just not much going on with this particular thing. Not much going on. I do want to talk about the hashtag Chinese thing challenge. If you missed the previous episode, I'm still running that. I haven't seen a lot of it. Is all you had to do to win at Chinese Cigar, this particular one right here, is to post a post of you doing something Chinese. Alright, eating Chinese food, doing Chinese of anything, watch Chinese TV show. I don't care, just something Chinese and hashtag Chinese. But make sure you post a picture showing that you're doing something. So that way, I got something to pick up. So, try to do something, hashtag Chinese things, and, you know, something had to do with Chinese, that's fine. Drinking tea, whatever. That way you can win that Chinese cigar. Alright. And reminder that we're running into April now. We're running into April. April 20th, we do have our New York meet at Davidoff 6F. It's right near the Central Park. I mean Madison. Yeah, Central Park. So you wanna be there. You wanna be there. Starts at 2. And everybody just had to buy that special Davidoff blend. Cigar that we plan to smoke. I can't remember the name because I haven't looked into it. And it's about $30. And that was it. That's all you had to do over there. We can all be there, hang out. It's gonna be great. Espinosa, Murcielago going. I still need to try those Espinosa. I haven't got one on my hand yet to try it. So. So how's your week? How's your week? I really like to know how's your week going. Obviously our friend Brendan's having a bad week. not Brendan. Chris. Chris is having a bad week. Chris Power is having a bad week, and there's not much we can do. We can only send out positive energy to him. Hopefully that things gets better. But if you had a bad week, let's talk about your bad week. You had a good week? That's great. I mean, everybody should have a good week. You know, things going good. I mean, when you have a bad week, things can only look better, right? Because you already have it bad. So things can only look better. And hopefully it will get better for you. But you know, if you got a vent, now is the perfect time to vent. My father-in-law was venting to me about companies. Like when you have a corporate letter, being a designer, being an engineer, you engineer stuff, and then you pass it out to your team leader or your boss. And he's been telling me that his boss has been taking credit for what he does. He almost got fired last year, lay off, because it seems like he didn't do any work. But now he found out it's because his iteration of something that he made, by the time he goes to his boss delete his name from the project and puts his boss's name on it. So looks like his boss been doing everything, but he didn't do anything. And he's been venting to me about that. Have you have that kind of thing happen to you? Just basically you did something and you know, like writing a script, doing a project or something like that, and your name was on the project. By the time you reach your team leader, your boss, they remove your name completely. Their name is on the project now. No credit to you. What do you do in that situation? Let's see. I've been sick and suck because but I think I'm getting better. That's good. I've been getting sick too, a little bit. It was like a borderline getting sick. But I think it's because I didn't get enough sleep. So, you know, I try to kind of relax some more and get a little bit sleep in. Tomorrow, that's what I plan to do, just do nothing all day, so. Worked about a 6-day week this week. Everything bad day. Every day is a bad day at UPS. But hey, think of it this way: you survive those bad days, right? You persevere. You survive with all that challenges. You know. I don't think that's gonna happen again because I hate to. I'm not gonna mention names, but that guy recently got a stroke. Karma. So I don't think that's gonna happen again. But what happened is he feel really sad about it because the project he worked on actually won an award, but his name is not mentioned. He didn't even get a trophy for that award. His name was not mentioned. He's not part of that award at all, even though he was the person that designed it. So what happens, each iteration of that software, so long as it goes to the next person, the serial number of that changes. Once it changes, it goes to the next person that touches it. And the next person never mentioned the previous version was made by him. So his name was completely erased from that project, starting from that point on. And basically everybody from that point on got an award, except him. You know, he's been talking about starting his own company before, over and over and over again. I just keep talking him out of it. It's my fault, but I don't think he's the type of person that can run a company. He, you know, if you think about something like you, should be, if you gotta run a company, you gotta know things gotta happen, and things gotta happen, you gotta handle it instead of just getting angry over it. He should have go talk to his boss, his boss's boss, his HR, whatever. You know, he didn't do that, and he ended up just coming to us, kind of venting. And we continue to tell him to go talk to his boss. You know, what's the worst gotta happen? He's fire you, get a lawyer. You know, so. But he just continued not to do that. But as a company owner, a lot of time you gotta meet a problem like that. So I keep talking out of it. I say, you're just not that kind of people to run the company, and I am not gonna be able to help you because I'm not gonna join a company like that. I'm not gonna work for a technology firm and try to do a salesman. That's not what I do. So. It does. It gets very frustrating. I mean, I understand the management like to take credit, right? Because after all, they are managing you on the project that they are assigned to do. So they would take credit. But then a good management should always also share that credit, right? It's like, oh, I didn't get this just by myself, my team as well. I want to mention all my team members. That's why you gotta get a good team going. But you know, people who does that, you know, eventually karma circles around and gets you. So, and wish you did. I mean, you got a stroke. So, you'll see me drinking this whiskey relatively quick because I have a coffee right here I want to drink. But yeah, I hope that everybody have good heart and just do the right thing. You know, if you're the management, if you've ever been the management, just treat people with the right amount of respect. Share the credit where it's due. But you know, don't just do that. And when you do that, what are you gonna do? Right? What are you gonna do? If you don't talk to somebody about it, talk to us about it, nothing gonna happen. Because when he talked to me about it, I'm like, what are you gonna do? Hire a lawyer? Let's go sue them. And he's like, no, that's not what I want to do. He said, well, what is the goal? He said, I just want my name on it. Oh, go talk to your boss. If he's not willing, do a lawsuit. If that's not good enough for you, do something else. So, I like freedom, so I can work in that environment for sure. Only time they do it with us is when the corporate reviewer comes in a very entertaining. It's very entertaining to watch. He's saying that right now that person basically is sick, is on sick leave, and the project fell back to him. He realized that, you know, the name has all been changed. That's why he's been telling me, but you know, everything has two sides to it, and I don't know the whole story. I can only tell them that, you know, it's very simple. If you want your name on it, go talk to your boss. If your boss is not willing, go talk to your boss's boss. If your boss's boss is not willing to do something, go to HR. If that's not willing to do something, time for a lawsuit. If you don't want to do that, move on, go to the next company. We literally had a 2-hour conversation of me saying that same thing over and over again. So what's your goal? Just let's go to the point. What's the goal? You got stuck on the first verse for about 15 minutes. Martin Amaya says he's getting sponsors. So, I mean, that's something worth celebrate. Sponsorship? Come on, Martin. Martin, if you get sponsorship, that means you gotta give everybody in the group something. Hey, Jason. Gotta all celebrate together, you know. Martin, you got 200 members, or you got 200 subscribers. You got sponsorships. Come on. That's okay. Once you announced it, come on, everybody in the Shadow Smokers Legion should get something from your sponsor, right? Wink, wink. Now Martin's like, I shouldn't have announced this. But congrats, Martin Maya. When you announce it, we're all there for you. It's not a paid sponsorship. I didn't say you had to be paid. But if they're gonna send you like a bunch of cigars to review, you know what I mean, right? But yeah, congratulations on that. Getting sponsorship is good. Doesn't matter what it is, pay or not. It's the next step for your reviewing channel. Congrats. This cigar is going nowhere. No one is gonna sponsor me because I keep telling you certain cigars taste like crap. So, should we sponsor Tony? I say him sounds like no. He's gonna say your cigar tastes like crap. This cigar does have good. Oh. A little bit nuttiness go through, like I almost taste peanut butter. Peanut butter. I'm not kidding. Almost like a peanut powder, but peanut butter flavor is actually really, really good. Now that flavor is coming through, but nothing else. Just peanut butter right now. Let's see if it gets better. You ain't balling. I got 6 kids. My kids and wife gets all my money. That tells you that you're a baller. You know how many people take care of 6 kids? That's not easy. Taking care of 6 kids means you're a baller. Yeah, the flavor started to come alive, but that's like halfway through. Went through half just to do it. Might as well just give me a Robusto. Because this thing's long. You know, I don't know if you guys know Jack Ma. Jack Ma is the CEO of Alibaba. And he made a speech in college or something like that. He basically said, the more debt you have, the more capable you are. And which is true if you're thinking his perspective. If you can't handle your debt, you ain't rich. You know, if you have a $10 debt, that means you can only manage $10 debt. If you have a $100,000 debt, that means you're rich enough to handle $100,000 worth of debt, and the credit company trusted you that you can handle $100,000 debt. When you get a $400,000, $1 million of debt in your company, that means you are successful enough to handle $1 million worth of debt. So that is proportional to your ability to handle debt, which means whether or not you're successful. What is new and exciting? What's new and exciting? New exciting is, well, the things that got shipped out, basically. People have been receiving stuff now. People who ordered the Journey already tried the Journey, so some of them are reordering more Journeys. People who order the box of Journeys has been sent out. People order coins has been receiving coins. We got a bunch of other swag coming out with the skull design, including like a wall hanger, hanging on the wall, more bigger sticker, wall stickers, even vehicle stickers. The vehicle stickers are coming out. I haven't received them yet, so I can't show it to you. Hey Matt, and again, if you're in the New York area, April 20th is when we're gonna meet up, so make sure to show up. Just gotta finish this. Alright, now that it's done, I can put that on the side and enjoy my coffee. It's gotta be Davidoff 6th Ave. Davidoff 6th Ave in Manhattan. Swanky event? What do you mean by swanky? Gonna be a pretty nice event. We had it last time when I'm still, you know, part of the Cigars Daily Nation, and you know, not a lot of people showed up, but we had fun chatting and just smoking. Well, it has to be midday, you know. They close at 6, so they had to be midday. Yeah, New York City. It has to be midday because they close, you know. I'm not gonna go in the morning because too early. Can only go in the afternoon because it's 2 o'clock. Can't do it at night because at night time I had to hang out with my wife and my brother, so. Got 6 kids, a wife, 2 dogs, and 2 cats. That's actually quite a large amount of things to deal with. So that's a lot to deal with. I'm surprised you have time to smoke cigar. No wonder you had to smoke cigar when you're in the car, because that's the place you hide. Gotta go into my car. Nobody's there. Close the door. Smoke. You think that's bad? Back in the old days, a Chinese man will have 7 wives and probably 15 kids. Of that 15 kids, probably 4 will survive into their teenage. Of that 4, probably 2 will survive into their 20s. But 7 wives is much tougher to handle than 7 kids, trust me. 7. Yeah, 7 wives. Back in the day in China, you know, back the imperial time, a rich man will have multiple wives because you try to have as many kids as possible, because a lot of kids are not gonna survive. So only way to have more kids is to have more wives. So they have a lot of wives to deal with. Just wanted to jump on for a few, but my meds are kicking. Okay, have a good night, man. Have good rest, recover, you know, from whatever that you're on, and come back to us on Facebook. You know, just really rest well. You know, a lot of people are getting sick over this weird winter time. Today the temperature actually got a little bit better, but not perfect. We went to 70s today, which is pretty good. But you know, I wish that 70 would stay so I can actually smoke outside. Yeah, but so yeah, a lot of people have been receiving a lot of cool stuff lately. I hope that, you know, I can start seeing those coins everywhere, because those coins are just cool. It's just cool. I actually think that's like the coolest thing we made so far is the coins. 50s in Texas. I would think that Texas is always hot. Apparently they're in 50s, huh? Well, 50s right now is considered warm to us because we're cold all the time. We drop like 30, 40 degrees every night. So right now this basement is about 50s. Ugh. So we talked about how many of you are actually from Ohio? Ohio and Kentucky. How many of you are from Ohio and Kentucky? Shout out to all the brothers that's in Ohio. Come on. How many of you are in Ohio? And how many of you are in Kentucky? What I want to know is, what is the most famous thing in Kentucky? If somebody take a tourism to Kentucky, what would they try? Don't tell me Kentucky Fried Chicken, because that's like asking a smack in the head. What is the most famous thing to try in Kentucky? That conversation came up today, so I don't know. Cigars? I don't know what's famous in Ohio and Kentucky. I was surprised the person I was talking to said potatoes. Like, wait, Ohio makes potatoes? 38 is horrible. 38 is cold. Barbecue? Isn't like barbecue is not really Ohio, Kentucky, but more for like Louisiana? Kentucky Derby. Okay, all right, that's one of them. Okay. But what about food and stuff? Still barbecue? Whiskey. Kentucky whiskey. I thought whiskey would be Tennessee. How we take the cold temperature? We don't. We put on more clothes and complain about it. We don't take cold weather. We just complain about it. Keep adding more clothes on. And here's one of the announcements that you may like or may not like it, okay? Starting from April, every group buys, coin purchase, and t-shirts, I'll get an entry to a raffle that will run at the end of the year. And I'm giving away, I think by then it'll be like, it's $100 cigar to me. So I'm giving away $100 cigar. But that will be a long-term raffle. So everything you buy, group buy, or anything that's group related, starting from April. So any purchase from that point will get an entry into that. You know, because I start to do a spreadsheet of who buys what. And starting from April, that point on, anything you buy will be an entry to that, and then we'll raffle at the end of the year, and basically the winner will get a Cuban Trinidad, which cost me $100. So some people might not buy it for $100, but I end up paying $100 for it. So that's why we're raffling it off. So yeah. Try to make purchase more exciting, stuff like that, you know. Another way to raffle, that kind of get me to keep a list. So starting from April, which is next week. And I also got I also made a bunch of stickers for the OGs, and basically I'll be sending those out to the top first 20 people that enter the group as thank you. So if you enter the group as the first 20 people, minus me and my wife and my other account, so it'll be, you know, the 23rd, up to the 23rd person, will get that sticker. I'll just send it to you. So I never had a Cuban, don't know if I really want to. I want to keep the mystery going. Hey, if that's what you choose, you can choose to do that. It won't be a mystery in the end. I mean, if you taste a lot of cigar before, Cuban is just another blend. And also reminder that the top 25 cigar of the year thing is going on. Make sure to put your vote. You can vote for multiple cigars. If you like all of them, put your vote for all of them. I deleted 2 of them, which is I don't smoke enough cigar. I don't care. Kind of one like kind of basic say that I don't smoke enough cigar. I didn't have tried 25 yet, or I smoke none of those. I don't know. Those 2 is deleted because that doesn't add any value to that poll. So what happens is if you never smoke any of those lists, but you have something else that you like, just add it to that list. You know, if you know what you like, add it to that list. You must like something, right? So just add it to that list, and basically top 6 will be picked up for the first quarter. All right. I think I have a mail call on Monday coming with a Cuban. Good. You can get to review a Cuban. Cuban has more of an earthy flavor, but it's a very down-toned version of earthy flavor, unless you try the more expensive one, which has really punch, but at the same time it comes with some strength. It starts at medium strength. There's nothing as light strength, right? It starts at medium plus and heavy strength, and the heavy strength has even heavier strength. If you tried let's say a Bahike and something like that, you know what I'm talking about. There's strength that come with the flavor. So what is a heavy Cuban? Top of my head is hard to come up with the one. There's a lot of the limited edition one. The LEs are quite heavy. They're medium plus and too heavy. But you know, like I said, the Bahikes are quite heavy. It has a punch in the face for sure. It'll get you sick if you're not used to it. Other than that, what else? The LEs for there's a Cohiba. What's the thing called? Start with the M. Oh no. Cohiba Talisman are heavy. Cohiba Talisman are heavy, but that's like $140 cigar, so it comes with the price. So yeah, if you never try one, I do recommend you to try at least one. So yeah, it's quite strong. If you're not used to it, but he can get you sick. It is quite strong. So Mike Hawks, no, I have not. By the way, hi Bob, hi Bob. I have not smoked a Mike Hawk cigar. Yeah, I have not smoked a Mike Hawk cigar. I had to look into it, how it looks like. A lot of time I will get turned away by just the packaging. And if the packaging does not interest me, I don't pick it up. So the only reason that I'll pick it up is because someone had traded me, someone has gifted it to me, and I put it in a humidor, and I just happened to reach in and grab it. You know, because I tend to grab every cigar in my humidor at random. So I'm very eager to try the egg roll though. I can't wait for it to get here. The few and cigars? You mean like the laws against the cigar, or what do you mean? I'm a sucker for pretty bands, so. Well, actually, cigarette doesn't have that much nicotine, believe it or not. You can chain smoke and never get sick. So, if you're not noticing nicotine, that might just because you are not noticing nicotine overall. I'm a cigarette smoker, and I can always notice nicotine in a medium plus or full body cigar. So I always notice, and I'm a chain smoker, so you can expect me back in the days to smoke, you know, 5-6 pack, no problem. At least 5-6 pack a day. But I will notice the nicotine in cigar, not cigarette so much, because you can chain smoke cigarettes. Cigarettes are such a tiny thing, you know. You're not gonna get a lot of nicotine out of it. You'll absorb more, but it goes away relatively quick. I don't smoke cigarette anymore. But yeah, I'm also a sucker for pretty band and pretty rapper. That's why I go such extent, because I can only do so much to make the journey pretty, and I do everything I can possibly do on it already. So yes, a lot of people are immune to nicotine. but not in terms of that way. It's just that you don't notice it because you're used to a certain amount. Your body is not reacting to it, basically. For the last cigarette you had was at 17. How long ago was that? You know, the Azeron Zion one, there's have so many new ones that comes out, but not every single one has the packaging that I like. You know, since the one that looks like tampon came out, after that all the other design looks okay. So I didn't feel like the need that you tried it. You know, especially with that one that came out recently with multiple different colors. That doesn't, the chocolate bar I think it's called. They all don't have even coloring. Just that kind of tells me the quality of the tobacco might not be that good. So didn't intrigue my interest on it. Yeah, I used to smoke cigarettes so much, I can finish a cigarette in 3 long puffs. This long, I can finish in 3 long puffs. I've done it before as a, like a dare. Like, not like a dare, like a game. Like, who can finish in the shortest, the less puff as possible. And I had to take 3 puffs. And 3 puffs later is at the filter, so. I have long puffs. I can smoke really quickly. But you know, I consider that something that I do as young and stupid kind of thing. Definitely not good for you. But even at that level of smoking, I still can feel nicotine. So yeah, 3 or 4, 100 menthol 100s, 3 to 4 puff. Yeah, menthol 100s are longer. So that's long puffs. It's not something I would do regularly. It's not enjoyable. It's definitely not a good way to do it. So I don't recommend it. I still recommend people to stay away from cigarette, either way, because it is obviously harmful for you. And if you don't believe how harmful it is, go take a jog. Just go out and run for 15 minutes. Then you'll realize how much your lung has deteriorated from smoking. That's how you come to a realization that cigarette is that bad for you. You don't feel it. You do it all the time. It became a habit. But once you really need your body to work and you can't do it, you come to a realization that it's bad. So, and I'm pretty sure you knew it was bad. Just that you don't know how much damage it's really doing, that you kind of put it aside. It's like, oh, it's not that bad. It's okay. I need it right now. But once you realize how your body is not doing what you wanted to do, that's when it's harmful. You know, mentally, I get the shock. I got something we can talk about. Let me sip coffee first. Cigar does not. I think that if I don't smoke cigar for a couple of days, totally fine. And cigar, I don't feel like it gets me to that point of asthma. You know, it's like I ran out of air. I don't feel good. You know, that kind of thing. It doesn't get me to that. I can still do exercise and stuff like that just fine. So cigar, I don't feel like that. But cigarette, I do. You know, I did came in that realization that it's doing that to me. Like I'm running out of breath, doing simple stuff. So that's how it come to the realization of it. So I want to talk about this. Have you guys ever had a dream that continued the next day? You had a dream, you woke up, you remember some part of it. Then the next day you have a dream that continued from that part of it. Do you have a dream like that? I have that kind of dream just past tonight when I tried to get some sleep. And it continued. It was kind of scary because how it continued. I had a dream that I was in this mall area and met this little girl. And she was playing at either 4th floor or 5th floor by herself. And I saw her there. I was like, oh, it's a little girl with her parent, blah, 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 blah. And I was trying to keep her entertained. Now, I do not remember the detail in between what happened. And I remember at the end, her mother or grandmother came to pick her up, and the dream just shifted into something crazy after that. And the next day when I dreamed of me in a sort of mall kind of place. I was ordering food from every single, like, this is what I tend to do. When I go see a lot of food that I want to eat, I'll go to every single restaurant and buy takeouts and go home and eat all of them. And that's what I tend to do. And I was doing that in my dreams. So I was buying something here, something there, something there, something there. And all of the restaurant messed up my order. All the restaurant was unable to give me the food that I ordered. And I had an argument with every single store, and I lost something too. I don't remember what it is. And in the end, that little girl showed up again. And basically, her grandmother was there, and her grandmother was like the owner of that certain places and stuff like that, and talked to them to fix my order. And at the end of the dream, I only remember that in the end of the dream, I still did not get what I ordered. In the end, I still did not get the food. I still did not left the place. I just remember the girl was like, you know, you helped me that time, and you know, my grandmother's want to help you this time, but she didn't do much for me. But again, that dream continued. I was freaky because I remember that little girl. I don't remember her name. When I woke up, I don't even remember how she looked like. I just remember that was a little girl. And that reminds me of a time when I was young. I had a dream 7 days in a row. 7 days of the same dream that I went to the same corner. It's a dark alley, very dark alley. And I knew that if I go to that alley, I'm going to get kidnapped. I'm going to get hurt. I remember that every time, but I still take that turn. I still walk through it, even though I knew that if I walk that way, something will happen. And that continued for 7 days straight. Got to a point where I'm afraid to sleep because I keep having the same dream going to that corner. In the end, I still never understood what that means because I walked into the corner. I knew I'm gonna get hurt in that corner. I still keep going. But yeah, having the continuation of dream or repeated dream or something that makes you remember like some sort of deja vu, it's kind of scary. It's kind of scary. It could do some damage when I wake up. I was like, oh my god, what did I just dream? Dream that pertained to my childhood, picked up 3 days in a row. Yeah, it's actually kind of scary. Sometimes it's cool. If it's a good dream, it continues. You know, it's kind of cool. But a supplemental message kind of dream, it's kind of scary because I don't know what that dream's supposed to tell me. And obviously, you have a dream because your brain was trying to tell you something. You simulated the situation to tell yourself something. I just don't know what it means. You know, when I wake up and tell my wife, like, I dream of this little girl. She's like, that's freaky. Don't tell me that. A little girl? What are you dreaming? I was like, I have no idea. I just know that I met a little girl. And the next day, I dreamed that same little girl again. She's like, oh my god, that's freaky. Because in terms of ghostly stuff, like scary stuff, Asian people has this thing with little girls. Little girls are scary. Asia actually had this movie called The Little Girl in the Red Dress. Basically, it was based on a true story where a group of people went to this mountain and they had a recording of a video that they just walk down a mountain alley. They record everybody, and that one little girl appeared in the back out of nowhere. Nobody know who that little girl is. Nobody knew that little girl is middle of nowhere in the mountains, and they found that little girl in the video. In the end, they swear no one there saw that little girl, because they would have went to ask what that little girl was doing there, but no one saw that little girl, except in the video. So they made it into a movie. Little girls are scary. Very scary. So I don't know if I'm too stressed and that little girl supposed to mean something, or you know, something my body's trying to tell me. Yes, it's very interesting how people decipher the meaning of dream. A lot of time you're like, oh, had I knew this was the issue, maybe I would have done something about it. But your body constantly tries to tell you something, right? And then your dream is the best way to tell you something. So, woke up again multiple times. Was sitting and checking my chest from gunshot wound. Crazy. Brandon, do you own a gun? Do you own a gun in the house? Because if you get shot in your own dream, maybe you'll feel insecure about your gun. So if you have a gun, that might be a reason. I had a lot of dream of me falling down from like elevators or high places. I remember holding on to my dear life in a dream where, you know, the whole floor just collapsed and I'm holding onto the pole, and then when I fall down, I wake up. So a lot of time I tend to fall down from something and then wake up. Scary, because I actually feel it. Like when I wake up, it's literally like, oh my god, I'm holding onto something, but I'm on a bed, I'm not falling down, but your body thinks that you're falling down, so it's like, oh my god. You hold on to something, you jerked and you hold on to something, you're like, because that feel is so realistic. Even though you never fall from so tall before, you just had that feeling. So Brendan, that might be it. You know, because you carry a gun daily, you tend to be more aware of something that could go wrong, and your brain basically simulated what would be like if you get shot. But yeah, falling dream is scary because you literally feel like you're falling. You literally felt that moment of the gravity just grab you, you know, 1G down. It's scary. It's scary. I mean, nothing can describe that feeling. It's like even riding a roller coaster wasn't that scary because you felt like you're really gonna die. You know how people talk about, you know, if you die in a dream, you die in real? Has anybody actually died in a dream before? I haven't tried that. Like, I haven't actually died in a dream. Like, you know, a lot of time in the dream, you see yourself in the third person point of view. Like when you get hurt or something, like you see yourself getting hurt, as if it's a storytelling. But I have never seen myself dead in a dream. Have you guys seen yourself dead in a dream before? Which Assassin's Creed? The new one? The Odyssey? I never finished that game. You know, that's around the time where I really get into, you know, Shadow Smoke's Legion. So I end up just not finishing the game. I know there's a lot of update they made and all that stuff. Just never get to try it, finish it. So, you know, she should play Odyssey, so that way she could actually play a nice female character, descendant of Leonidas. So, I wish I had the time to do that. I need to play them again. I barely had catch up to my, you know, Gundam Gunpla plastic models. Yesterday, I was literally just about to start one and open the box and start cutting the first piece. UPS showed up with those boxes for Journey, and I ended up working on that instead of the Gundam. So I had the Gundam sitting over there, not done. It's like, oh man, that's here. I better get it done and send it out. So yeah, that took a lot of time. So this cigar lasts quite long. It's almost 2 hours. It's still going, but nothing's going on with the cigar. Other than that brief moment where I tasted peanut butter, and then now it's going back to nothing again. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. I mean, it's such a good looking cigar too. Disappointing. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Some cigars just doesn't have that going. Well, that's the reason why some cigar gets very famous and some cigars barely known, because some cigars just not that much going on. Not that much things are going on. So since it's almost April Fools, why don't we share about what is your favorite April Fool's prank? What is your favorite April Fool's prank that you have ever done to somebody? I didn't even play the Origin. I didn't have time to play it in those. What is your best April Fool's prank? I tend to hide on April Fools because, you know, I tend to believe what everybody's telling me, what's going on and stuff like that. And I you know, somebody tell me something's going on, I take action and all that, and then they go, yeah, it's just a joke. So I tend to hide myself on April Fools. By the way, hi cat. So yeah, what is your number one April Fool's? At a job, I parked all of our vehicles in the back corner of a warehouse. And when the morning crew came in, they thought the trucks got stolen. That's a good one. Did it end up calling the cops? Oh my god, our trucks got stolen! I usually don't do April Fools because in America, April 1st is April Fools, right? In Taiwan, April 1st is Children's Day. The day where kids, you know, celebrate being children. So they caught everyone freaking out. They found them as my manager's getting ready to call the police. Good one. That's a good one. 2019 on April 1st, she had a few friends overnight. I was hiding in the bathroom. Oh, she had a few friends hiding over tonight, and you're hiding in the bathroom? Are you in the only bathroom? That could be a good prank. Lock yourself in the bathroom and there's no bathroom to go to. Taste a little bit of almond now, but that almond is like a saliva taste, not from the smoke, but from my saliva. I kind of taste a little bit almond. It's kind of weird because it's not typical notes from a Maduro. Have I ever played any pranks? I don't, and I don't have the heart to do that. I mean, I try to start a prank, but when I actually try to do it, I go like, ah, nah, never mind. I just not that. I don't have the heart to start something big. So, in terms of fooling people, I don't like to tell lies, and basically, doing an April Fool is kind of telling lies. So I tend to not do it. That makes kind of boring person for me. That's why I tend to hide in April 1st. And you know, no one's gonna find me to do anything on April 1st. I'm just doing my own thing and don't talk to anybody and just get it done with. Because I like other people to have fun with the jokes. I like to hear about it, and I don't want to ruin it. So I tend to hide myself. So yeah, that's something that I don't do quite often. I mean, that's the few times I hide myself. It's April 1st and marathon time. Marathon, I hide myself. I don't go out. But yeah, like I kind of planned a few times, like, oh, maybe I'll just take a baby picture and then try to prank everybody thinking that my wife is pregnant and that kind of stuff, but then not end up doing it because I feel like kind of smack in the face because I actually don't have kids. My buddy ruins every prank. He always starts laughing, of course. What is my opinion on Yakuza gangsters? Well, what do you mean by what I think? What my opinion is? I mean, nowadays Yakuzas are just corporations, so they have a certain rules they follow. At the same time, they protect their own turf and meaning of way of living. So if you don't bother them, they don't bother you, kind of thing. So I mean, I could be biased because I'm somewhat related in a way. I just cannot confirm or deny. I think those would be best. Somebody go on a vacation and just tape up their whole entire cubicle with like post-its or fill it up with things. Tape up like moving tape all around the chairs, so they had to go through the trouble around removing it. When I see those, I laugh very hard. But yeah, Bob, I don't know what kind of opinion you think. Like, you gotta give me your opinion of something about Yakuza, then I can tell you what I feel about that particular topic of Yakuza. Because saying like what I feel about Yakuza is like saying how I feel about white people, you know, kind of thing. It's just the way of living. It doesn't change much of what I think, you know. So Yakuzas, yeah, they're corporations now, so they basically has hands in every single tourism that you can think of. So their hands are in tourism. They're out there to entertain you, if you think of it that way, because that's what they do best. Clubs, gambling, and stuff like that. Prostitution too. I used to do that with clipboards of supervisor all the time. I would tape them to poles and trucks. Clipboards. Yeah. So yeah, it's hard to say what I feel about something that it was stigmatized, right? So people think Yakuza is bad, just like mobsters are bad and stuff like that. But if you think about it, it's just a corporation that try to do what they do best. I mean, nowadays, if you think about it, there is very little amount of people getting beat up by Yakuzas. There's very little people that get killed by Yakuzas nowadays. They're just corporations that try to make money out of the 8 different biggest entertainment. You know, karaoke's, movie theaters, club, gambling ring, prostitutions, massage salons, what else? Adult videos, so pornographies, that kind of stuff. There's not much they do other than those. That's what they earn the majority of money in, and you know, it's legit business technically. So, oh yeah, and food industry. There's a lot of food industry like that. Hot spring industry are usually related to. So, cigar culture on Yakuzas. There isn't that much. You'd be surprised. A lot of Yakuza actually isn't that rich, so they don't smoke cigars. They are not easily accessible. They take a lot of time. So you'll see maybe the boss smokes cigars, but the people below the boss all smoke cigarettes because they're easy to maintain, to get. You know, it's social ladder, right? Social ladder. So the boss of the boss has a lot of money, and there's like 1,000, 2,000 people in the bottom. They are just regular people that earn the salary. So, do they use those business just to maintain their power structure? I totally gotta get in trouble telling you guys this. So, in terms of political power, they are like lobbyists, right? They obviously they are in restaurants, massage salons, hotels, pornography, that kind of industry. So they meet a lot of people because most men in power will enjoy that kind of stuff. So men's are going to club, men's are going to massage, and they talk to their friends or political partners or like that, or business partner about things. And when people get drunk, they tend to tell a lot of secrets, and they are the secret keepers, right? And obviously those female will know the secrets, and they keep that as a string, right? So let's say if they're gonna make a law that outlaws hot springs, right? From now on, no Yakuza corporation can own hot springs, and the Yakuza will just go to those people and say, you will talk about that, or something like, I know you have a wife, and we have a female that knows you very closely in our shop. That kind of get them the, if you don't let that law go through, we won't say anything about it. Blackmailing, yeah. So blackmailing, that kind of stuff. And at the same time, they keep them happy. They don't need you blackmail, right? So because it is a social thing, right? You got let's say a prime minister wants to entertain, let's say Obama, right? They need to go to a nice place for food. They need to go to a nice place for hotels. They need to go nice place massage, whatever that detail is, and basically the Yakuza's corporations handles all those things, make sure everything goes smoothly, make sure they have their private room, security is perfect, all that stuff. So they kind of depend on that. And not only that, I don't know if you guys know, but Yakuzas are number one emergency response in Japan. Number one. I'm talking about bar none. I don't care what natural disaster is. They act faster than the police office. They act faster than their fire department. They act faster than anybody else. Okay, when natural disaster happen, Yakuza's open every single place that they have and take refugees in from Japan. They're like, you have everybody, tsunamis are coming. Come hide in our buildings. They were the first one. They'll provide all the food. They'll provide all the things that just save their people, their locals. That's Yakuza. That's like number one thing. Like even FEMA cannot work that fast. Basically, they are fast, instant. Before the government did anything, everybody's taken care of because they have the political power, and their business depends on people, right? So they take care of the people very well. You can't, like, if you're depending on the government to come save you, by then it's too late. But they have the resource, right? They have the hotels, they have the food industry, entertainment industry. They have all the location people can hide, and they literally open it up. All people come in. We got food, we got location to stay, we got emergency beds, sheets, everything that you can think of out there is dangerous. Come in. That's what they do. They believe in doing good things as well. They just have a stigmatized view of things. People get scared when they see people has tattoos, right? And obviously, Yakuza tend to put things on their body, all over the place. So people got scared of them. But a lot of people are very nice. They're still human beings. Right? When they see an elderly walking and have trouble, they will be the first one to go help the old people. They were like, oh, you're carrying so many things, let me help you out. Those old people are like that. The Yakuzas are like that. They are still people. And they respect a lot of elderly. I've seen Yakuzas get yelled at by local old people. They're just like, you dress too, and stop scaring young kids. And they was I'm sorry. And they was about, I'm sorry. The old people sit them right. And as much as the bad things, stories and all that stuff, they're still just people. And they do run a business that people tend to frown on, but again, we're human beings, right? We do that kind of stuff. We depend on those entertainment, karaoke's, movies, porn, all that kind of stuff. They just happen to be in that industry doesn't mean they're bad people. Yes, there are some that does bad things in terms of trying to get money that they work, but still, in the end, it's just business. Woo! I hope nobody that's Yakuza ever watch this episode. Ever. Japan is all about respecting your elders. So you'll see a lot of time where Yakuza was yelling at the younger people, and if you know the whole story, it's probably because they pay no respect to the elderlies, and the Yakuza saw it, and they just decided to teach them a lesson. Yeah, people like porn. That's just the way it is. Human beings, you know, sex is very big thing. You know, that's how we procreate. So it is what it is. It is what it is. We're all adults. And porns are somewhat part of everybody's life, male or female. So in Japan, they're not having enough sex. They're not having enough kids. And porn is actually their way to promote people to go out and have kids, because now they have more old people than young people. Are the youngster group fighting the Yakuza for power? No, that will never happen. What happened is the Yakuza is not a gumi, a group, a section, a chapter. It's not that easy to be challenged. Established region would rarely see an actual war, because now we're developed countries where we know what's going on and stuff like that. So they rarely fight. They keep it on their own, right? If you do, let's say, this particular group of that region decide to open a prostitution on other people's turf, yeah, you gotta get some bad blood, but people don't do that anymore. They're sophisticated. They know how to run their business now. It's all corporate and law-based. They stay within the gray line of the law and not do anything illegal. So you rarely see things that you gotta find on movies anymore. The stigma does tell people that that kind of stuff might happen, and people are scared of them, but it's give and take situation now. It's not the same anymore. There's still people that consider themselves Yakuza. There's still bosses and stuff like that, but they don't really do anything illegal nowadays. Japan has a system of shame, right? If you're ashamed, it's hard to flip over and become a better person. So they tend to not do anything that's shameful. In Japan, it's a big thing if you get caught using drugs. It's hard to flip over from being caught using drugs. So the Yakuza tend to not sell drugs. Only the little thugs, they like to sell drugs. They run perfectly legal corporations. They pay their taxes and all that stuff. So the government leave them alone, and they do what they do. They don't. The real Yakuzas basically just run corporations. So sex is overly commercialized in Japan. Like, there are red light districts. Okay, there are red light districts, especially in Shinjuku or Osaka. Two places that has very publicized porn industry, but they're not like publicly out there. They hide. They don't display those. If you see boards and stuff like that, it's words, maybe pictures of the female, but they're all dressed, so it's not like in your face. They still try to keep it low key, so they don't go against the law. In Japan, laws are very different. To be considered as prostitution, I try to find the right word. Intercourse is required. Everything outside of intercourse is not considered as prostitution, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of things you can do outside of intercourse. So yeah, there's this gray line they can stay in, and obviously there are things against the law, but you'll be surprised it's not the Yakuza that's running them. So, and what Yakuza does is they kind of just turn a blind eye on it. They run their business and stuff like that. The biggest things are usually like clubs. They have pretty boys that drinks with girl or woman who choose to have pretty boys say good things about them, or pretty girls that stay with pretty guys who have the money to drink and party and all that stuff. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I guess that's a longer story to tell, that I can answer, but there are some things I just can't answer. Anyways, 11 p.m. That was a quick 2 hour. I'm surprised how quick the 2 hour ran by this time. I think that we talked about a lot of stuff. Summary is this cigar, Perla De Mar. Not recommended. It's a long cigar though, lasts 2 hours, but it doesn't have much thing going on. It's kind of disappointing cigar to me. Not recommended. The band is good. The cigar looks good. Just doesn't have the taste to go with it. And we talk about, you know, things are going. It's all going to you guys. So anybody who ordered the journey, who ordered the coin, they are on their way. Should get into you sometime next week. So yeah, time flew by today. Yeah. So if you order something, it's on your way to you. I just want to reiterate again that if you do go through a group buy, go through a swag group buy, whatever, just make sure that if you do say that you want it, go through with it. If you don't want it anymore, make sure that it's before that we made the purchase, so that way I don't have to constantly run into a problem with extras. So and I have to pocket it myself. So other than that, things are good. Hope you guys enjoy the weekend, the Sunday. April's coming. April 20th, we have the meeting. Make sure to show up if you could. Other than that, we're good. Any other questions that I can answer last minute? No? Yeah, if anything, you guys can always message me. I always look at message. You might see me disappear for April 1st, but other than that, I'll appear again. I'm looking to run a few more events and giveaways. So I just in the planning stage. Once all these group buy stuff goes away, we can start running more events and stuff like that. All right, so I think that's the night. Have a good one, everybody. Have a good Sunday. I'll see you guys next Tuesday somewhere on Facebook, because I'm gonna disappear on Monday. And be saucy, be nice. Thanks for joining us. If you're still here, make sure to hit the like button. If you have any comments after the live show, decide to rewatch it, leave it in the comment section. I always read them, you know. If not, see you guys in Facebook. I'll see you guys next time, Wednesday, same time, same place. Be saucy, guys. Have a good night.